Hello coders, welcome back to tutor. And so guys, we have already created a video on how to create a next app or how to configure Tailwind CSS in the next app. But guys, since then it has been a lot easier to install Tailwind CSS or to get started with Tailwind CSS and create our next application. So in this video I'm going to show you how you can create a simple next project with the Tailwind CSS configured. So if you come to the documentation, you can see that we have a new features in the create next app. Like we can do it in interactive way, like we just need to run this command, that is yarn create next app, and we have to follow just the prompts which are provided, or we can just pass some parameters like Tailwind and it will automatically configure the Tailwind CSS without asking for any prompt. So first of all, I'm going to open a command prompt in a folder and we'll run this command, that is npx create next app, and it is open to you that you want to use this postfix, that is @latest, which will going to create a latest version of the next application, that is Next.js 13. So for now we just run this command create next app, npx create, and now it will ask for some permissions, so we have to press Y, that is means yes. Now it will ask for our project name or application name, so let's name it Tailwind next, and now it will ask if we want to use TypeScript in our project, and now we can switch from no to yes and yes to no with the tab key. So for now I'm not going to use TypeScript, so I'm going to press enter on the no, and after that it will ask if we want to use ESLint, and here I'm going to say yes, and I have to press a tab and enter, and now it will ask us if we want to use Tailwind CSS, and here guys you have to press button on the yes, and if it is selected on the no, then you have to press the tab button to select yes, and now press enter, and now it will ask if we want to use the src folder like React project. Then I'm not going to use this, so I'm going to use the next style, that is the pages folder for the default pages. So here I'm going to press enter on the no, and now it will ask if we want to use the app folder for the default pages, that is the experimental folder or the beta version of the next application. So here also I'm going to press enter on the no, and now it will ask what style of the importing we want to use in our next application, like if you import a file or a component from any folder with just the base root command, that is @ or star, then I'm going to use the @ method, and guys it will quickly create our next application. And we are also reducing the time to set up the Tailwind CSS after creating a next application, so it is very efficient way to create a next application if you want to use Tailwind CSS. And guys, there are lots of examples already given on the documentation which you can use to create a next application with the already configured packages. Like if you go to this link, it will take us to the GitHub page where you can see there are lots of examples which you can clone on your computer and get started. Like if you want to use fetch API, then it is already given here. If you want to use headers, then it is already given here. And guys, these packages or these projects gets updated regularly, so you don't have to worry about the latest features. So guys, if you want to use Tailwind CSS without creating a next application, you just have to clone or use the example method of creating next application. And here is the package. If you search Tailwind, then you can see here with Tailwind CSS, and if you click on this project, you can see here we have to create a next application like this, and the Tailwind CSS will be automatically configured in our application without giving any prompts for the Tailwind CSS. But guys, I showed you this method because it is very interactive and easy to understand, and our next application has been already created. So now let's go to this app by running cd tailwind and we're going to run this project in VS Code. And guys, you can see here Tailwind CSS has been already configured in our application. So let's quickly run this application with running this command in the terminal, that is npm run dev, and it is going to open a development server for us on the port 3000. And you can see this, the modern next application homepage. And now we're going to edit this index.js to see if the Tailwind CSS is working in our project. So let's remove this code from here and write our custom application. And inside this we are going to write a heading tag, and let's write hello. So it is shown here. So now let's try if it is going to style with Tailwind CSS. So we have to write class name, and I'm going to write the Tailwind CSS class, that is text center. So it is working. Let's try some others, like font is equal to bold and text size is equal to 4xl. So it is working. After creating the next application with the Tailwind CSS, we have to check in the tailwind.config.js that it is already configured to use inside our preferred or desired folders or not. Like it is already set up to use the Tailwind CSS in the components folder inside our project's root folder. And as I'm not going to use that components folder inside the root folder, and I'm going to create that inside the src folder. So like I'm going to create the components folder here, and now I'm going to create new components like header here. So guys, if I try to use the Tailwind CSS here, text is equal to 4xl, and first of all let's import this component inside the index.js. And let's try to use inside this app div like header, and just close it. So let's see if it works. And now guys, you can see here it is already imported inside our application, but the CSS styling is not still working because in the Tailwind config.js we have not specified the folder in which we are going to use, or we are using the Tailwind CSS. Like in the src folder we are using the components folder, and inside that folder we are going to use the components. So for the components it is already written here, and we just have to specify here /src. That means it is going to look for the Tailwind CSS inside our header file too now. So it is going to work. So let's try to change the bg color or background color. Then you can see guys, it is working. And let's try to center these. So guys, it is working fine now. So guys, basically you have to check the configuration after creating the next application with the Tailwind CSS, so that it is working in all your folders. So guys, that's it for this video. Hope you like this video. If you like this video, then subscribe to tutorial for more videos like this, and stay healthy, keep coding, and keep watching tutorial.